My family left me out of every event for years, then excluded me from my sister's baby's birth. Now they're furious that I'm done with them. Oh man, I'm really bummed out about this situation. So, here's the deal, I'm a 34-year-old woman with two younger sisters, let's call them Sally, who's 31, and Bella, who's 28. I always thought I was pretty close with both of them. A while back, Bella got married and had some trouble getting pregnant, but eventually, thanks to IVF, she did, and I was over the moon for her. However, there have been a few moments where I felt like I was purposefully left out of things. For instance, I was the only one who didn't get an invite to Bella's graduation because she assumed I wouldn't be interested. Then, when our grandpa passed and there was a family gathering afterward, I was again excluded because they thought I might not want to come. Fast forward to Bella's baby shower, and she planned it on a day when she knew I couldn't make it. Even though I was upset, I still dropped off this beautiful gift basket I'd put together for her and the baby, including a handmade blanket from our late aunt. Bella had a lot of health issues during her pregnancy and needed an early C-section. The day before, I chatted with her and told her I was free and she could reach out anytime. I even expressed how excited I was to hear the big news. On the day of the birth, around 1 p.m., Bella and my dad called to introduce me to my adorable new nephew, and I was thrilled. But then Bella passed the phone to my mom because a nurse came in. That's when my mom let it slip that Sally was already at the hospital. My excitement instantly turned to heartbreak. I asked why I wasn't invited too, and my mom said they assumed I couldn't come because of work. I was like, seriously? I could have arranged something if they'd just asked. So, I ended the call in tears and left the family group chat. I talked to my boss later, who was shocked at how my family acted and assured me I could have left work for the day if needed. Afterward, I texted my mom to let her know how hurt I felt, and she just replied with, "I'm sorry you feel that way." My boss said they're gaslighting me, and my feelings are totally valid. But now I'm wondering if I'm overreacting. Was I a jerk for hanging up on them? One commenter even suggested Bella might be behind a lot of these situations and emphasized it's not my fault. They encouraged me to stop reaching out and create a new family with people who genuinely care about me. They also pointed out that if me, my boss, and others are appalled by my family's behavior, it speaks volumes. My response: honestly, I have no clue why they treat me like this. I always believed I had strong relationships with both my parents and sisters. As the oldest sibling, I was 28 when I had my son, and Bella was. So, I'm just 21, almost 22, which feels pretty young still. I don't think having a kid first has anything to do with the way things went down. My partner, mother-in-law, and sister-in-law are all super upset about how I was treated, and they're totally on my side. I feel kind of lost and heartbroken about the whole thing. One commenter mentioned that maybe my family doesn't really like me, and while it sounds a bit harsh, it seems true. They never invite me to the big events, and it's been going on for a while. It feels pretty toxic and emotionally draining. They've shown me who they are, and now it's up to me to decide if I want to keep trying with them or just let it go. I could try talking to them one-on-one to figure out why they always leave me out, or just move on and focus on my own family. When I moved out at 20, things changed. I've been pretty independent, but it still stings not getting invited to stuff. They often say it's because I have a son with special needs and can't get a babysitter, but that's not true since I have a great relationship with his dad, who happily adjusts his schedule for family events. My family knows that, so it feels like just another excuse. Another commenter suggested that maybe there's a bit of ableism going on. They might not want my son around, though I wish that wasn't the case. It wasn't always like this. I still visit every couple of weeks with my son and keep in touch with my sisters. We meet for coffee and everything, so I always thought we had a strong, loving bond. Fast forward a couple of days, and after not hearing anything from my family, I saw on Facebook that everyone else was at the hospital on Thursday, except for me, my partner, and my son. I messaged my mom, expressing how upset I was, but she just said I hadn't done anything wrong. She claims Sally ended up at the hospital by herself, which I don't buy. My mom said they just assumed I couldn't take time off work, but that's not for them to decide. I made it clear how hurt I was and told her I'm going low contact for now since this isn't the first time I've been excluded. I'm focusing on my little family and my in-laws, who have been great. Thanks to everyone who commented and supported me, it really meant a lot. A few people suggested maybe going low or no contact with my family is best, especially since all of this started after my son was born. It's been odd timing, and I'm still figuring out what's best for us. Hey, so let's talk about the whole thing with your mom's comments on your posts. Did your dad or sister ever back her up, or is it just your mom on your case? Original poster: nope, haven't heard anything from the rest of my family. It's just been my mom. I reached out to her last night after seeing all these family photos on Facebook at the hospital. Commenter 2, good for you for reaching out, but I'm really curious about why your whole family seems to be leaving you out. It's odd no one else is standing up for you. I suspect your sister might be spreading stories about you. Commenter 3, I read Op's other posts about her son. Maybe you'll find some insights there. She has an autistic 6-year-old who's always on his tablet with the volume cranked up, and it seems like it's more about Op expecting everyone to accommodate her son's behavior. Not all family events, especially visiting a newborn in a maternity ward, are suited for that. Also, Op's partner must be such a trooper for sticking by her. Original poster, my son wouldn't have come with me to the hospital. You're spot on. My partner is an absolute gem, and we've been working for months on helping my son with his behavior to minimize disruptions. He's truly one of a kind. Commenter 4, it sucks that people are all over your case about this. How dare you make a mistake and learn from it, especially when it's about raising an autistic child or being a single parent. Everyone messes up. I'm glad you're growing from it, even though some folks seem ready to hurl it back at you. This doesn't seem like a valid reason for excluding you. If it were, someone should respect you enough to say some events might not suit your son's needs. This should be about helping the child, not making the adults comfortable. And it's weird your family's been so cold, especially your mom. She's his grandma, for crying out loud. I've got an autistic nephew, and sure, it can be tough, but excluding him from family stuff? No way. If your parents start treating the new grandkid better than your son, seriously consider cutting ties. Protect yourself and your son. Family should be about love and support, not exclusion. Original poster, thanks a ton for that. Yeah, I messed up and learned from it. I was a single mom for 2 years while working full-time, so I let my son get away with more than I should have because it was easier. Now, I'm not alone anymore, and my partner and I are making changes for our family's benefit. It's nice to see someone gets it. I wouldn't have taken my son to the hospital either. My partner and I talked about the grandparents possibly treating the new grandkids differently, and if that happens, we're cutting them off. It'll hurt because my son loves them, but we won't keep him in a toxic environment. Second update, 3 days later. So, here's the latest drama. Bella reached out last night, claiming she never said nobody was allowed at the hospital. According to her, the plan was always for her in-laws to come, and she'd cleared it with Sally too. She suggested I must have heard wrong. I calmly reminded her that my partner was there when she specifically said it was just parents allowed at the hospital. We both heard her say that. My partner even asked why Sally was there later on. Bella said she was upset I didn't check in on her and the baby after our FaceTime, and she wasn't going to chase me for it. I told her I had no clue what was happening with her. So, after the baby was born, I totally understood that the new mom needed some space and didn't expect her to invite me over right away. She mentioned they had to keep going back to the hospital because the baby wasn't well, which sucked, and I genuinely felt bad and hoped the little one would get better soon. She asked when I'd visit, and I told her it was up to her to invite me over. She said I could come whenever, but she was feeling really sore and wasn't sure how she'd feel. Fair enough, right? So, I decided to wait for a proper invite instead of just dropping by. Anyway, it was super late, and I needed to crash. I chatted with my partner about it, and he said he'd back me up with whatever I chose to do. Some people commented that an open invite with conditions wasn't really open, and I kinda agreed. So, I decided to just wait and see if she actually invited me. I messaged her a week later, saying to let me know when she was ready for a visit, but she totally ghosted me. No biggie, I left it alone. Meanwhile, my mom has been trying to FaceTime and text me a lot. I haven't been engaging much with her or heard anything from Sally or Dad. My son saw Grandma on my phone and got excited, so I answered her call. She tried to act all nice, but I wasn't really having it. Afterwards, I told her through a message that I needed a real, face-to-face apology for how things were. Her response was one of those sorry you feel that way things, so I called her out for it, and she said she didn't try to gaslight me. She even cried on the call, saying she couldn't handle it anymore before hanging up. Other than all that drama, I've been focused on my son, partner, and work. I've accepted that I won't have that close family bond anymore, but I'm cool with it. I've got my little family and my in-laws, and they're what really matters. I doubt there will be more updates, but thanks to everyone who's cared and commented, it's been really helpful. One comment really hit home when they pointed out I never truly had a close relationship with them, and it's so right. Standing up for myself felt awesome, and I'm done with the old drama. Time to focus on my little family. Some people think it's weird I was waiting for a special invite, but hey, to each their own. I'd rather know I'm actually welcome. So, here's the deal. I really didn't want to just pop in unannounced, that's not my style, even for my sister. After I had my son, I'd only invite people over when I felt ready, and never just randomly show up. I saw someone comment, "Isn't that what she wanted?" And I think that's how my other sister ended up at the hospital. She just arrived out of the blue. It looked like the sister who just had the baby went with it, and other family members came too, setting all her plans aside. But actually, my sisters had already lined up visits before the baby was born, and Bella had other family coming as well. I just wasn't in the loop, and they kept saying nobody was invited to the hospital. Fast forward 3.5 weeks later, and I didn't expect another twist, but here it is. Today's been a bit of a roller coaster, and I'm still sorting through it all. My parents and I have been patching things up, they've said sorry, which is a good start, and we're working on our relationship, regardless of what others might think. Sally also dropped by, and we hashed things out like grown-ups, apologizing for how we made each other feel. Things aren't perfect, but they're better. Sally suggested I reach out to Bella as the bigger person. After thinking it over, I messaged Bella, saying I'd be at our parents' place with my son. This morning, my partner, my son, and I showed up at my parents' around 10 a.m., but had to head out by 11:30 because we had other stuff going on. Bella was late, showing up about 45 minutes later with her 5-week-old baby. My mom suggested I hold the baby, but Bella wanted us to talk first. I tried keeping things light by chatting about the baby and giving her a little stuffed toy we picked up. Bella wasn't super talkative, just gave short answers while my mom filled in the gaps. At one point, Bella handed her baby to mom and stepped out, and when mom asked me to check on her, I didn't go because Bella had barely acknowledged us. As we were leaving, Bella apologized for being quiet, saying she felt awkward and upset that I hadn't checked in on her and the baby. I explained I knew she'd been dealing with a lot, being a new mom, breastfeeding, recovering from surgery, and didn't want to overwhelm her. But she got really mad, saying sisters are supposed to be there for each other and that I'd hurt her feelings. She shouted, claiming she never said I couldn't come to the hospital, just that I misunderstood. My partner and parents tried calming things down, saying we both had valid points, but Bella turned her frustration on them, saying she felt unsupported. At that point, I was speechless. My son picked up on all the tension and just wanted to leave. So, we did. My parents tried to get me to go back in, but I was too angry. I needed to calm down for my son's sake. As we drove off, Bella came to the door with her baby, asking me not to leave like this. I just told her it was too bad, I'd made an effort, and all I got was yelling. My partner wanted us to turn back, but I was so upset that I just wanted to get home. When we got back, my mom called to check on me, and I broke down, explaining how Bella kept blaming me and refused to take responsibility for her words from weeks ago. My parents actually praised me for staying calm while Bella shouted. So, I'm totally determined not to lose my cool in front of my kid. To keep my chill, I decided I needed some distance from my mom and partner. They keep telling me I should hit up Bella again once I'm calm, but honestly, I'm at a loss for words about what to even say to her. So, that's where we're at if anyone's curious. As for the top comments, it's pretty much a chorus of people suggesting I reach out to Bella. The thing is, she's never going to own up to her mistakes. It looks like she just wants to keep the drama going or force her way back into our relationship. It's like she's clinging onto something and refusing to let go. People hope I go no contact with her for a bit. There's this whole Bella is the golden child vibe. Maybe the family is starting to see through that, but I'm not sure why my partner wants me to be the one to make the first move. It seems like my partner gets that I can't quite cut ties with Bella, even though things aren't getting better between us. Maybe they're trying to sort the family drama while everyone's still aware that Bella's been acting up. If I let things chill too long and try again later, the family might just go back to their Bella's perfect mindset, especially with a new baby in the picture. The fact that Bella was shouting while I stayed calm makes me think I didn't get anything wrong. Bella was trying to exclude me but ended up making herself look bad to the family. She doesn't want to own up to her actions, so she's covering them up with lies. She knows the truth isn't on her side, so she's just yelling to drown it out. That's why she's only pulling this at family gatherings. Bella knows I won't buy her lies, she just wants the family to see her version and believe it. When she said she was upset about the parents siding with me, it wasn't because she wanted things resolved, she just wanted them backing her up. Thanks for watching in. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more crazy real life stories happening around you.